Okay, cool. Oh my goodness, that was such a nice introduction. I feel like last night I had some really great conversations, and well, a bunch of us were actually talking about COVID and how COVID changed each one of our lives in a huge way. But we kind of don't talk about it so much now. But it's something that we all lived through. Many people didn't live through, but we've had that. And then all of a sudden we have this pop-up of AI, right? And AI is changing and accelerating everything at a pace that is just bananas, I think, right now. And what you scroll about daily on your phones, what you saw here in keynotes and breakout sessions, which you may have seen on the screen at Microsoft Ignite, it's just increasing the speed of our work, the scale of information that we have to deal with at any given time, and the complexity of the decisions that we're making every day. I don't think people, maybe, I don't know, you can tell me, I don't think you're overwhelmed necessarily by the technology itself, but I think maybe you're overwhelmed, I know I am, of how fast everything is changing. And when we try to navigate that alone, uncertainty, I think, can turn into fear. And when we are afraid, we are not at our best, right? Can I get a woot woot on that? Woot woot, yeah. So I kind of think of it, I started DJing in January of this year. Waka, waka, waka. I've always loved music, I've always loved dancing, and I sort of think of, AI and direction of like when I'm on a dance floor. You know, when I'm on the dance floor and I'm rocking it, and I'm like, come on, DJ, drop that beat. You knew what I was gonna say in the middle there, but I didn't. But I want my direction. I wanna know the rhythm. I wanna know where I'm going. And I do think AI is gonna help us with that direction, but we gotta do it together. And kind of riffing off what Jamie said yesterday. Who saw Jamie's keynote? Everybody? Was that not cool? It was so cool to have a chief scientist in the house, a technical fellow, MIT grad, PhD, and a gal, lady scientist, a woman up on stage. It was fantastic. And she posited a question that will define our industry. How will AI remake collaboration? As it transforms our lives, I think the most important question is not what the technology will do, but it's what we will do together. In times of rapid change and upheaval, community, woot woot, becomes the stabilizing force that keeps us connected, human, and moving forward with confidence, I think. I believe that consistency, curiosity, and willingness matter more than perfection, talent, or grand gestures. Progress to me starts with presence. You can't learn AI or strengthen your skills if you're not engaged, physically, emotionally, and mentally. You gotta be in the room, even if it's a virtual space. That is the first step to growth and opportunity. Guess what? You're all in the room. Congratulations. You took some time and energy and space for yourself to come learn with your peers. Take a look around for a second. Look around, really, look left, look right. Look how many people are here and how many of you showed up. You're showing up for yourselves, you're showing up for your businesses, you're showing up for your families, right? I've been in this business now for close to 25 years. SharePoint and I have the same anniversary date. I started in 2001. Back in the day when it was called Tahoe. I tell people I started when I was 4, haha. But people have bet the farm. You've bet your businesses, your lives, your families on this technology. And it's a symbiotic relationship, I think, between product makers and the product users, right? You tell us what you like, we change it, hopefully. We listen, hopefully, make the products better, change things as they go along. I think, people often hesitate. They avoid discomfort. Maybe they'll skip training to wait for the perfect timing. The perfect timing to do everything and anything in your lives, everybody, is right now. Don't wait. Life is short. I wore yesterday breast cancer ribbons For friends that I've lost, I lost a lot of friends in the last little bit for breast cancer and some other things. So life is short. Don't wait. Jump in. The water is warm, believe it or not. I believe that community creates clarity. In this world of constant change that we're in, community helps us make sense of this complexity that we have together. It turns noise into insight through shared learning and open dialogue. I think community also builds confidence. Look at all these confident women up here. Who is in our sessions, our panels, and our lunches, ladies and allies? Woo woo! Yeah? Thank you for joining us for that. And ESPC has been a champion of women in technology since the jump. I got to do the first keynote for our first lunch back in 2015 in Stockholm. I was so sick. Oh my God, I had such a bad cold. And I want to say thank you to the ESPC team, who is definitely part of my family, Kevin and Sarah and Pamela and Katie and Aisling and Sean and the rest of you. I adore you. Thank you so much for bringing this to everyone every year. It's fantastic. Let's give them a round of applause, please. And from this show, the grand mama, daddy of them all, if you will, spawned the European Power Platform Conference and the European Fabric Conference. So this wee show that was started all about SharePoint spawned two other giant shows. Who goes to Power Platform? Who did that? Anyone? Yeah? FabCon? Yeah? Awesome, right? It's so amazing that this huge ecosystem of community exists. I believe that we're all in the same community, the best community in tech, Power Platform, SQL Server, whatever. And I think when we talk about things together, when we transform uncertainty into courage, Louisa totally made me cry a little bit. When we learn collectively, I think we move from hesitation into action. We've got shared learning, we've got peer support, we've got making sense of things that sometimes don't make sense. Those are all the foundations of progress. You know what I see? Who's part of the Microsoft Tech community, the online community platform? Yeah? If not, techcommunity.microsoft.com. You too can join today. It's a place where you can get your questions answered. You can listen to blogs. You can see Ask Me Anythings from Microsoft. What I see on techcommunity.com, what I see in Discord, I'm there, but I hide. Ooh, Discord's a lot. Got to tell you that for sure. WhatsApp groups, all of these places where we are getting together to chat about this stuff. I'm seeing questions like, do you get this? What prompt did you use? Oh, they built that agent that I had in my head. Oh, maybe I should see who's doing that or who's doing something similar to me. Because you know what? We all have this collective consciousness of a lot of the same things that we want to do, that we want to fix, that we want to make easier, right? I think some words I'd love for you to think about is, can you share that with me? Tell me what prompt you used. You don't have to go alone on these things, right? It doesn't have to be this moment sitting around going, I don't know how to use this. Asking the question of, can you share that with me, is a power skill. Which leads me into power skills. I call soft skills power skills. I don't like the term soft skills. Soft skills to me, I like power skills. Everyone with me, what are they? You all are so awake this morning. I love it. It's so good. Yay, somebody's had some coffee. But I also believe that power skills are something that AI cannot replace. My belief, and I think I'm right, communication, empathy, deep listening, adaptability, judgment, and collaboration that we keep talking about. And these skills are built through interactions with each other, not isolation. Every conversation you have builds your communication skills. Every disagreement that you have builds active listening and the way to figure out problems. Every group challenge builds these neural connections of teamwork, right? Our brains like repitas, por favor. It likes to repeat things, right? We are building muscle memory. I know it's probably not gonna shock you all. I was a theater major. Ta-da! The coat. Somebody told me I had the Technicolor Dream coat on this morning, and I was like, oh, that's good, that's fun. It's from a play. But I think with theater, it's all about empathy. If you can get on a stage and walk in somebody else's shoes, right, you can understand them. That's why we go see things. That's why we go to the theater. That's why we go check out entertainment, why we read books, right? It takes us out of ourselves for a minute. We need that beautiful break. Those power skills of creativity and empathy and listening to each other are part of that grand tradition. And why I love being able to get up on stage and talk to you all, because I feel like maybe if you're like, you know what? One thing she said rang true to me. If that's true, I've done my job for sure for here today. But I think community and how we talk to each other and how we get together, you've heard a lot of people talk about community this week. And I think community starts not just, it starts at home. You know, it starts with, you know, if you have kids at school or you belong to a soccer club, your actual soccer, not our, you know, your football, right? Your football, not our, what we call soccer. All of those things are super important because, you know, when things go sideways, what do you need? Okay, this morning, no power in the hotel. Who else? Okay, no power in the hotel this morning. I thought, okay, I lived through COVID. We've got stuff going on in the United States right now. And if this is a zombie apocalypse, I guess I'm glad in Dublin because this city is awesome. And you have really good crisps, right? But what did I do? You know, I was like, wait a minute, this is kind of, I can't see. I don't know, did I put on the right clothes this morning? All of that. I checked in with my community. Immediately, I went on WhatsApp and I was like, hey, is everybody, what's going on? Da, 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 da. You know, is this the block? Is this Dublin? What's happening here, right? We go to our community when we need help. Do you all feel like you belong to the tech community? Woo woo. Good, because you do. There's a lot of goodness here. So I think this moment of AI is, again, how are we going to collaborate? How are we going to build community together? How are we going to share what we're doing to make each other faster? Power skills are not soft. They are essential, I think, for navigating change and really leading in this AI-powered world that we have. Look at all those lovelies. Can we say thank you to the Microsoft MVPs? Kind of get a woo-woo for MVPs? MVPs, do you want to give a little wave, a little woo-woo? Awesome. Yeah, let's do that. Let's give them some applause. So, if you don't know, Microsoft Most Valuable Professional, you get nominated by either a Microsoft full-time employee, or FTE, we love our acronyms at Microsoft, or another MVP. So you're nominated, and it's because you have technical prowess and you contribute to the community. And you can do that in any flavor. You can write blogs, you can do videos, you can be an organizer, you can organize events, you can user groups, all kinds of ways to contribute. And when you go into the program then, you get early access to stuff, so it's pretty cool. And hopefully you're connecting with the product leaders out there as well. And they do a lot of work to help make the products better, suggesting features and being like, why did you do that, Microsoft? I'm not pointing at anybody maybe over here that does that often or not, but yeah, you three down there in the front. But anyway, a big thank you. These are all the ones that are here this week. There's a lot of them. There are a lot of your speakers as well, but a very cool program, and I'm always humbled to be around MVPs. I was one, so I feel like I'm still in the mix a little bit with you all, but yeah, good stuff. So power skills, everybody. I think when you talk about it, maybe even flip the script on that word for yourself. When you talk about your soft skills, they're your power skills, actually, you know? I believe that the future of work, there we go, is not just about technology. It's about people and community and courage, which leads to purpose. People are our greatest asset. You are your company's greatest asset. Truly, the people that work for you, if you're a manager, hear me roar, your people are your greatest asset, and how they choose to use your software and the software that you bring into the company is what is important. Learning this together is so important. Whether you're building agents with Microsoft 365 Copilot or you're driving change in your organization, each one of you has the capability to shape what's next for your business, for your lives. I encourage you to get curious. Curiosity is huge. Tell me more about that. My favorite thing that I was told by a mentor of mine, Joel Fronheim, who was a client of mine. I've had a long career in and around Microsoft. I was a full-time employee 18 years ago, and then I became what we call a vendor consultant, a V-dash, if you will, and I was an event producer a long time for Microsoft. And Joel was one of my first clients. Joel had the first 60 partners for Microsoft for SharePoint, and he gave me a list, and he said, call these people and ask them if they want to be a SharePoint partner. I'm like, okay. So I did that. So I got to call the first 60 companies. And funnily enough, AvePoint, they were at the top, so they were the first one that I called. But something that Joel told me, and he's still my mentor today, we talk every Friday for a half hour. He said, Heather, the phrase to put in front of everything and that will help you in your career, because I tend to be a little direct, shocking. He said, start your emails and start conversations with, help me understand. Think about that for a second, right? I have some homework for you if you want to try it. Next few emails that you write, business, start them with, help me understand. It's magic, truly. Think about it. Help me, right? You're asking for help, understand. Who isn't going to want to help you after that, right? So with power skills and thinking about how we're going to learn together, help me understand is a great phrase where we can turn possibility, I think, into action. Let's try it. Let's say, help me understand. Help me understand. Not bad, right? Yeah. In the theater, we say you got to get it in the mouth. Getting the words in the mouth sometimes. That's why we rehearse our scripts, right? It's again that muscle memory of saying things maybe over and over so that they feel natural, right? And they come out. I'm going to make another declarative statement. I do not believe that AI will replace people. However, it's going to change how we rely on each other and definitely how we collaborate. The future is not ever shaped by technology alone. It will be shaped in humans in community choosing connection over isolation, collaboration over competition, and progress from presence. And when we strengthen community, we strengthen our ability to thrive in the future. The people that you meet this week may be your next career move. They may be your best friend. They may be a part of a moment that moved you to do something differently. We make choices every day about how we show up, about how we move in the world, about who we choose to hang with and what we do. Community is where it's at. And I wouldn't have spent this much time, 25 years doing this if not. So I'm very thrilled to be with you. So building prompts and agents is really a craft. There are patterns to learn, and you're gonna learn them more quickly the more you do these things. Now, think of all the things that you can do with AI so that you can also do the other things that you love. I'm already super fast at what I do, right? I mean, AI has made me insanely fast. I'm like lightning speed now on so many things. And it's allowed me time to do other things that I wouldn't have done normally, right? Or that would take me a little bit longer, or that maybe just sit on my to-do list that I don't ever get to. This prompt is one for you to take back. You know, we We search our own names on search engines, right? That's like one of the top searches out there is like, what's going on with Heather Cook out there, in the world? So I think practicing prompts is really important. Using AI to help you deeply connect more to people and the goals that you can work on for yourself. I used Copilot to write my performance review. I did. We were encouraged to do that, right? Now, what it did is it went out and searched everything I did for the last 6 months. Some stuff I didn't even remember, So using Copilot, I showed that to a friend and they were planning a trip to Iceland, and he'd been doing research for like 3 months. And I was like, well, let me show you something. Boop, wow, right? I hope you're using it, yes, in your personal life and in your work, trying to make things easier for yourself. So anyway, I feel like community is something that you all get and that you all are a part of. And I just want to thank you again for being here, for showing up for yourself, showing up for each other, and having fun. This stuff should be fun, right? It shouldn't be scary. So when we lead with courage and curiosity and community, we alleviate that fear. Because fear sucks. It just does, right? So thank you very much, everybody. This is my part of power, skills, goodness, AI, and community, baby. Woo! Yeah?